probably, I would assume Sandra, no, I don't think this is worth crying to sleep. Either way, it's Conversation Castle.
Eric, how'd you feel
Rejoice.
about session questions, comments, concerns?
It was fine. I felt like I actually did something with the dragon orb. I was like, hey, you know what would be helpful? Probably somebody like a dragon detecting orb that could help us know where the dragons are going to be coming from.
Yeah.
And you know what? The 5-day estimate seemed to be about right. So I'm also happy I got that right.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you're talking to a
Magic man.
magic item crafter, so
okay, and that just happened to be a very good decision. Like I was like, oh, nothing else is working. Might as well use an orb detector. That could help with it.
it sounded like a long shot, but like you had the right people with the right tools, and yeah. Anyway, glad you enjoyed session. Have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good one, homie.
All right, Vriska, how'd you feel about session? Questions, comments, concerns?
Slow but enjoyable. My favorite part was the part where Paltrius was just like, I need to be paid, and there's a very clear moment where we're just kind of really, really pissed off Demare.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like these kinds of people. And she's especially not very fond of everyone else just being chill with it. And also the whole Thieves Guild thing was pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
You were right, Hunter. I did enjoy that, actually.
I knew you would enjoy that.
So my shtick was that the quote unquote Thieves Guild wasn't gonna be like, you know, Thieves Guild with Sandra, because like she was buddy with them when they were younger, and it's just like, no, we're like, yeah, we do some illicit things like loitering, and but like they actually are Thieves Guild in the back. And you know, if Sandra was trying to interact alone, they're like, okay, yeah, we'll see what we can do for you, bud. As soon as you walked in, and they're just like, hang on, is this who I think it is? Like,
Who the fuck
you
is
know,
this bitches? Oh, fuck!
Sandra can literally roll a natural 1 trying to persuade them, and it's like, oh, shit, it's someone who's legitimately a famous rogue / pirate. And even if, like, you know, Zach would have whipped out the, like, hey, I am the chieftain of Boudreaux who kind of, you know, put open season on stolen magic items and wartime goodies, bring it here and yada yada. Like, that would have been another angle to try and persuade from, but it's, you know, you chose the right background for working with people doing illegal stuff.
The
Exactly.
most illegal girl.
And also, there was the worry about the quote-unquote guards being called, and if you would have played it wrong, then the guards would have been called, but you legitimately are just like, this is just how I'm acting, and it's like, yeah, that seems like entitled noble, and like, if things would have went really wrong, even if, like, worst case scenario, combat encounter happens, they don't have the manpower to do shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I actually had a very specific plan for if the guards were called, which is to make a point of just like, look, buddy, if we do this right now, I'm going to resist arrest, and we're going to probably end up killing each other. Namely, I'm going to end up killing you and everyone here, and that's going to leave this town defenseless against whatever's going to come. Are you willing to stake the lives of this entire town on bringing in one person who's sleeping one night in an inn without paying?
yeah, that's a really good way of being like, man, it's definitely not, like, when you put it like that, nope, and they would have fucked off pretty quick. But like, if you would have like interacted with the receptionist again in the morning, they would have asked like, hey, are you gonna pay? And
I actually had a plan. If it was that specific lady who didn't call the guards, I was going to flick her a gold coin.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, her shift was over.
Rip
But,
didn't actually
yeah.
end up paying.
Yeah. It chump change at that point.
I
Anyway.
pay people, not actual businesses.
Oh, of course. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed session. So, Shane,
Hey,
how'd you feel about session? Questions, comments, concerns?
I'm gonna sneeze.
those are my thoughts.
It didn't
Wasn't
end up-
even me.
You
Those
know,
are my
and-
thoughts.
And it didn't even sneeze. So.
God, fucking lied, bitch.
It felt like it. You know, you get that feeling.
You look at a bright light.
I
It'll help.
tried.
I always look for bright lights. But how'd you feel about session?
I'm content. I'm happy. It was us just,
Mhm.
doing our thing, getting
Yeah.
shit done.
Roleplay,
And
yeah.
I enjoyed all the stuff going on and just listening, enjoying it,
Mhm,
and knowing that I got to be somebody's muse for a morning.
like when you were talking about like,
I wanted to be extra because he finally
Yeah.
got to be in water. So he was being like straight up like when he would come out of the water, body sparkling, like glistening in the sunlight as like the water droplets are on him and he's just going around. Just fabulous as
Mhm.
hell in the water.
So, my original plan, if you wouldn't have done anything, you would have gotten out of the water and, there would have been a fisherman there. He's like, well, goddamn, that'd be the biggest damn fish I haven't seen out in these parts, hey? And, like, just like the most fucking redneck wood elf motherfucker. And then you have, like, been the talk of the town. But then you started, like, doing all those things. I'm like, alright, different angle. Painter.
Guy who's just like, I'm gonna go paint something by the river, and then just sees this absolute unit of a chiseled shark man just being graceful as hell. It's just like, god damn.
Yeah, like, as soon as you did that, I'm just like, this is how we play badminton. I'm gonna just knock that shit right back to you.
I knew you would too, because I'm just like, hey, let's do something funny. So it's like, I'm sure Steve will figure out what he wants to do with that, and hey, you delivered.
Absolutely.
As this
Alright.
man is just like criminally caked up as he's painting.
I'm just, because typically your characters have magnificent asses, so I'm just like,
Because it's funny.
you're just gonna fucking flaunt it, like, he knows where the assets are.
I mean, when all I'm wearing is a fucking loincloth, I'm not hiding much. So it's like, if I got a fat ass, I got a fat ass. But yes, good times.
Yeah,
And
I'm glad
enjoying
you
all
enjoyed
the
session.
stuff we, accomplished during the session as well.
Alright. B, how'd you feel about session? Questions, comments,
Oh,
concerns?
pretty alright, yeah.
Yeah,
I was a bit low energy at the beginning, 'cause just the work sucked today.
that's fair.
Just fucking overtime and shit. Otherwise, I had fun. Zach had all the bad rolls, but
I wanted to get in another roleplay scene with Zach and Peltrius because Peltrius is like literally his like background for his Pathfinder build is he is a arcane craftsman savant, and his mother is a like minor enchantress, and the Yale fantasy equivocal of refrigerator repair woman. And so, like, he understands so much about magic, and then he sees this fucking clown who,
should
like,
not exist.
magic doesn't work like that. Like, you don't choose what your magic looks like. If you're using conjuration, it looks a specific way. If you're like using evocation to summon fire, like it's gonna be red or orange because that's the like what the but it looks like clown faces.
Unfortunately,
You don't-
Paltrius doesn't understand that flavor is free.
Yeah, like, it doesn't work like that, and that is what just baffles him, is he had a solid understanding of things, and like, okay, things are a bit different in this realm, some spells work differently, some things can still work the same, like the fact that he used the spell Secure Shelter, which does not exist, but, like, this is just so wrong that, like, he doesn't understand, and he wants to ask so many questions, but I also was trying to bring it up, but it didn't. Paltrius's business, he runs Soul River Academy and Enchantry. He's literally a professor.
Shit. That might
Yeah.
actually help Zach's fucking golem. I want to learn
I
all
wanted,
things,
I
but,
wanted
like,
to
actually know it right now.
I wanted to toss that in, but there is not a good moment, and I didn't. I was shoehorning Paltrius in so much already that I'm like, I don't want to overstep my boundaries. So
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, I'm just gonna toss that out there. Paltrius is gonna try and talk to you about things, and he wants to understand Zach.
Have to deal with the fact that Zach never fucking learned magic the proper way whatsoever. Warlocks are bullshit. Being a sorcerer
Also-
is one thing. A warlock, what the fuck?
There was an
You suck
Easter
dick to
egg.
get magic. What the fuck?
There's been an Easter egg hidden in this town somewhere that I thought we were going to come across, and then things went a different direction. But there's an Easter egg for Zach that I'm really hoping gets bumped into. And you've come so close so many times, like the party. But one of these days. Anyway, you enjoyed session, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Oh.
Coco, how'd you feel about session? Questions, comments, concerns?
I didn't really do anything, but because I don't know nothing, she is here and doesn't really nothing to work off, but that's just to be expected.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of.
Oh, go ahead.
Go on.
What's
So,
combat or some motherfucker? Dude. I'm taking advantage of this. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, do it.
Well, once probably combat or something happens, and she can really do her thing,
Mhm.
or shit starts between players, which almost happened.
Mhm. I was waiting. I could like mentally. my brain is just like Regina's hand is going for that sword, like reflexively, and the second that shit gets started, like I'm so excited to see Regina actually start doing things. Because, like, I was trying to leave the door open for you. This is, like, your first time actually playing in one of my games besides the, like, hack and slash level 20 game. That was just, like, a dungeon crawl. So, both with the big party and needing to get adjusted to me as a game master, I can understand not doing much. But, you know, apologies that you didn't.
Nah, it's fine.
You
She
were able
was
to do.
definitely eyeballing Demir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's
Like-
that supposed to mean?
For one, didn't Demir call Paltry stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one thing that really pissed her off immediately, but wasn't going to escalate that.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah.
yet, but if she could... I don't know if I should give up the whole character right now.
Yeah. All I have to say is that, like, Paltry started to, like, clap back a little bit, but, you know, overall, it's just like, this doesn't matter. We're here temporarily. At the end of the day, we're going to be plane shifting back to Falcon's Hollow and continuing our regular day in the life. So
I was
they-
really expecting Demare to like just absolutely annihilate that poor innkeep.
just pull out a gun and shoot her.
She's
Yeah.
a lot less. She's a criminal, a villain
Mhm.
per se, but like a lot of different rules to how she works in terms of how she treats people.
If this was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you are
If I'm gonna
doing
stick
a-
to how Regina, gotta be careful what she
Yeah.
learns.
with Demare, if you are a person doing a job, then you are person first, job second. If you are someone who is a role, you are handled differently. And so the receptionist, she was a person doing her job. She knocked on the door being like, "Hey, what's going on here? Can you please explain this to me? Because, like, this isn't how my job normally functions." If she was taking the role of someone upholding the law, then she would have been handled differently. But because the receptionist, this is her 9 to 5, like, she's not gonna fight Demare over this. Like, Demare is very lenient with townsfolk who don't want to intervene because, like, it's fucking scary. There's pirates rolling through town. Like, it's one of those things of, if she steals your breakfast, there's a chance she might give you a gold piece for your 1 silver breakfast.
Yeah, I know
She's
this,
gonna
when
steal
I
your
said that.
fucking breakfast, but But yeah, it's. I'm trying my best to not. Like, I am the game master. I am not playing Paltreus or Amalthea. These are characters in the world. And if I were a player, like, part of me probably would have attempted to throw down with Demare. But I'm just like, that's not important. This isn't my story per se. It's, I'm running the campaign. It's quote unquote my story, but this is the game that you are all playing. This is the story of the Wild Whirlwinds, I think.
Something.
That's the party is
Yes, that
called.
is the name.
This is the story of the Wild Whirlwinds. This isn't, the heroes of Falcon's Hollow are not, the mainstay of this. They, like, Demare already has a rival. And I am very excited for the rival to show up again. Spoilers right now, Demare is going to drop the line when finally encountering the rival again. Demare is going to say, "Who are you?" Like, that is on brand. Like, Vriska and I know who this rival is. That line's gonna be dropped regardless. That's just Demare's MO. So,
She is the big shit.
yeah, as a game master, I know, I love learning people's characters and, the player game style as well, and being like, what is the best I can do to bounce off of these characters, or if the characters toss something my way, I can bounce it back to them. And so, with Demare, just the angle that she goes at things, she's very pointed. So, the Commedia dell'arte, this is the character, and they're going to act this way. Demare is the pirate who does the crime. So it's really easy for me to be like, yeah, crime pirate. I can just like fucking the Thieves Guild sees crime pirate and it's like, yo, that's crime pirate. Can you sign my cup? Like that. It's so easy to do that, and like, all of Sandra's family really dotes on her, and like everyone knows who Sandra is, and Sandra is also like dragon expert. Sandra wants to ask me dragon question. I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, here, and it's learning everyone's character archetype and being able to play off of it, like there's in the creation for like the being a game master in 5e, you can't read the game master's manual and be like, okay, here's how you make a perfect situation for a warlock clown. Like, no, you don't. It's not gonna say shit about people being clowns, but like it's so much fun to be like, okay, what is a situation where I can have clown be clown? And man, it's every time it's just like a treat of having regular people react to Zach, as well as like all of the facets of clown. Like people being like, wow, that's weird, there's a clown. People being like, oh hell yeah, there's a clown. The random japery, and Zach passed out and was placed onto the couch in a relaxed, comfortable pose, and Zach's head slumped to the side. They were suddenly wearing sunglasses. It's. By the way, you can add those into your inventory if you want.
Nice.
Like, you have those sunglasses now.
All right.
I honestly, to be honest, if you wanted to hammer space anything in like general clownery, you're first of all, you're fucking level 10 clown warlock. Just like either ask or do it if it's a minor thing. If you want to pull out a pie to slam into someone's face, fucking go for it. Like, it's funny and it's on brand. I don't need to nitpick like, oh, make sure you're deducting 2 silver for every pie that you throw at someone. No, that's stupid. Like, that's too much. We're not about that here. Anyway, off topic. Yeah, I'm very excited to see Regina do stuff. I'm very, very excited to see Regina do stuff because you're amazing at building characters, and we pseudo ported our characters over from the Pathfinder game. There's some changes because like
right now she is so much weaker, even though she is higher level.
Oh yeah. So like, wasn't it a level or two ago that there was a either boss or mini boss, and you literally one-shotted on a critical hit?
Yeah, I did like 78 damage.
Yeah, all I remember is every so often, Regina mimics Guts and just takes a big fuck-off sword and turns someone's like waist up into mist.
Nice.
Regina's fucking horrifying, and like 5e Regina is so much less horrifying because Pathfinder has like 20 magic item slots.
Yeah.
There's like, the head slot, headband slot, eye slot, I think maybe a mouth slot, or no, it's face for a mask, and then you have necklace, cape, shoulders. Like, there are so many fucking slots, and so you can have tons of magic items, as well as you can combine magic items. Paltrius's goggles, which in 5e are legitimately just a singular item, Paltrius's goggles. They are, I think, like 4 magic items combined. And they allow him to have dark vision, detect magic, and I'm trying to remember what the last one is. I think it's like true sight or something. No, see invisibility. They're those 3 things combined, as well as like 2 other things. I think it's like he gets +10 on perception and something else. They're stupid. They're very strong. And I spent like 20,000 gold pieces to combine all of these magic items. And 5e, it's just like, yeah, that would be an attunable item. I can have 3 attuned items instead of my billion and his bandolier of scrolls and his 6 different wands. He legitimately, instead of having a like cantrip, crossbow, etc., he has a wand of magic missiles he uses like a gun.
Yes.
He just fucking pulls that shit out and shoots them.
That's if your opponent's not swarmed by 15 wolves.
Yeah. I mean,
Poor Darth.
yeah, also, I don't think there is summon monster in 5e. So,
Angels and other,
There's
like
like a
the
bunch of
devils?
summon stuff, but it's like so specific.
I'm legitimately having to give him custom spells, which is like an NPC thing to do. Like, he has weird, wacky powers because he's not really going to be, like, sure, he's going to be joining in combat, but he's not there to overshadow. He's a support. So, Regina, being a full guest character played by a guest player, gets all of the shenanigans, and Amalthea, like, she just has healing magic. If I recall, like, her domains were nature and healing, so being able to just remove the headache from Zack, that's a thing she can do.
Long last.
She has AoE heals that I am legitimately pulling from Pathfinder. She had, like, as NPCs should be different from PCs. Like, that's something that is kind of lost. Where, like, Pathfinder had NPC classes, but
Yeah.
it's like, how I view it is a wizard who is an adventurer and a wizard who works in a lab. The lab wizard basically does a bunch of rituals and experimentations and can craft a bunch of things, while an adventurer wizard is putting his life on the line day after day after day and doesn't have a ton of time to make complex rituals to do this or that. So, like, if 2 wizards want to extend their lifespan, one being an adventurer, one working in a lab, the one working in a lab is going to probably be collecting a bunch of bits and baubles and pieces of lore and yada yada, while the adventurer wizard, the best they got is wish. So, yeah, that's kind of how I view things. Of, like, when Paltrius gets into the actual battle, I'm going to be, using spell slots and such. And I think I looked at the character sheet and he didn't have all 3 attuned items. I'm gonna talk with you later, Coco. I'm so glad we didn't actually have to get into combat, because I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh no, there's.
I did as quick as I could. That was like a 30-minute job. So
yeah, I know. I thought that you had more time yesterday to work on it, and then
no, I passed out.
Yeah, you sent me a message. You're like, all right, Paltrius is done. I'm like, all right, excellent. You finished Paltrius, and you probably did Regina's. You're not Regina. Well, yes, Regina, but also Amalthea. Like, I thought you did that yesterday, and then you sent the second message. Amalthea's done as well. And it's like, oh. So, yeah, I'm gonna make them more NPC. Anyway, back to the final individual. Hunter, how did you feel about session? Questions, comments, and concerns?
Yeah. Garbage.
My
Perish.
I freaking hated it. No, what I meant to say was the opposite of that.
I honestly, I realized that during session, you rolled a natural 1 at arguably the best time to roll a natural 1 because it, like, you walked in and it's just like, here's the fail-safe condition. If this happens, then no matter more or less what happens besides outwardly shanking someone, you're going to get the result that you want, which was if Demare announces that she is Demare, then you get free access to all the Thieves Guild services. And, you know, you rolled a natural 1 to convince your way in, and he's just like, no, please leave. And then the time when it really mattered, the whole Dragonology crash course, you rolled a fucking natural 24, which I'm gonna tell you right now, all of your prep work building up to the dragons actually coming in, all of that has weight with how prepared everyone is going to be. And holy shit, a natural 20 just, like, increased their survivability by a good chunk.
You did it. Congrats.
Yeah.
Legitimately, with how I was initially going to have it play out, there's going to be dragons coming from different angles. You wouldn't have known where the dragons were coming from unless you put effort into it. Depending on where you allocated people and where the party was, if you straight up put the hunters in a location that dragons were going to attack and had no PCs there, they were just going to be straight wiped, but probably give people enough time to get away. Like, they were fucked. But now you know where the dragons are coming from, what color they are, how strong they theoretically could be, and, like, that one item, while, you know, it was kind of shitty that you're forced to pay for it, Peltrius needed to legitimately, like, he runs a fucking business. He's taking from what he more or less had for his projects and other people's commissions and is building this thing for you. And the 5,000 gold pieces that you were able to give, by the way, that was, like, arguably the best. If you would have given, like, way too much, like 10,000, I would have come up with some additional bonus features. But right now, like, yeah, it's a fucking... You can use it as a scrying orb focus, which is a 1,000 gold piece focus. So, you know, check that off. It gives you bonus to scrying on dragons. You can locate dragons with a locate creature spell, which has like a either 100 or 1,000 foot radius. Like, I jotted down the specifics of the item because I didn't know that this is going to be a thing at the start of session. But man, am I so glad that it's a thing, because wow, that gives you a lot of really, really big versatility. But yeah, you made some really good steps forward, though I thought that today was the day we were going to fight the dragons. I have side maps already ready.
It's okay, this just means you have more prep done already.
There's a lot of preparations that are going into this. Sandra cares about home a lot.
Yeah. I will also say that the more time that we spend on this, the more time I can finish up plans for Albania and the Tower of the Elders, which I'm way further behind on than I would like.
You just said what the dungeon was.
You already knew what the dungeon was.
Could have surprised us.
We knew this for like a month now.
Well, I can think of ways to stall. You guys want to go out to the abandoned house?
Want to go fight bears in the woods?
Fist fighting bears in the woods.
Exactly.
We've been good about
Tuesday,
taking
innit?
bears.
Take drugs and kill a bear.
Also,
Take drugs, kill a bear.
would bears inherently be a favored enemy for Sandra?
Yeah, I'll fucking sure.
It's a bear.
Fucking
I
bears.
don't have any big fucking plans with bears, so sure, why not? There's a backstory thing you get.
You're supposed
The bear
to go,
lord.
You're supposed to go for the neck.
I'm still like wanting to do stuff with people's backstory. Like, this is the character arc. This is, you guys are going through everyone's backstory, and like this is obviously Sandra's. You are home and dealing with stuff regarding Sandra's home, and obviously there's still the entire quest of fighting the Lord of Cinders and getting Sandra's mom, but
And her sister. I'm not giving up on her.
so like I have some other things planned. I want to ask Coco, how long would you like to be a guest for? Like,
As long as the party wants me around.
okay, like if the party doesn't say when, more or less, like if you want to keep sticking around, then you might go into the Tower of the Elders with them. So
We have character art of Regina made by Rio. We can put you on the logo.
It is entirely up to the party if I continue to interact with the story, or after this I piss off.
it also depends on
Scheduling.
well, yes, scheduling, as well as if character conflict becomes an issue.
I hope
Because-
not. I'm not gonna try to instigate it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, you know, there can only be so many beefcakes in the party. If Dante really steps in Regina's territory too much, then no one knows what's going to happen at that point.
That beefcake friend, what you
Sparring
mean?
match. Let's go.
You want
Then I-
to do sparring match?
I'm-
Let's go.
I'm imagining.
Then again,
that-
Dante's too much of a vibe.
I'm imagining the two of them. They're just head against head, walking towards one another. Like, you want to go, bro? Huh? You want
Both
go?
have nice
It'd
asses.
be
pretty
chest
good,
bumping
pretty good.
into each other kind of thing. But the thing is Dante is very non-confrontational unless he feels he needs to be. Like, if he wants to intimidate, he has a high level in intimidate, but he's not going to if he doesn't think he has to.
Wanna fucking
He's-
go, bro? Huh?
Regina
I
is
really-
pretty much just like that too, unless you do something really stupid, or she's not. Gonna
For
try
Dante, it's like he'll tolerate a lot, but especially if someone just is either being a dick or is outright evil, it's like, oh no, it is on, bitch. Like, he will throw down right away.
I think her and
without
him are gonna
hesitation.
gonna get along quite well.
Also, question: how tall is Regina again?
She is 7 foot.
Oh.
Dante's 7'2", just 2 inches difference.
Tall beef kings, let's go.
Exactly. Dante's always just like, if he sees another person who's like tall, he's just like, ah, yes, I'm not the only tree here. Like, it makes him happy when he's not the only person standing out like a sore thumb for being fucking tall.
Okay, so Amalthea is the tallest at 7'5".
She is
Nice.
huge.
I mean, isn't
Amalthea is
isn't
the
isn't Damer's
Firbolg?
zombie girlfriend like way taller than me too?
I don't remember how big Roxy is.
I thought Roxy was like fucking massive compared.
Who is,
Also,
who was 7'5"?
Yeah, probably.
what?
Who was 7'5" again?
Amalthea.
And Amalthea is the Firbolg?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hang on. I
Gentle
can-
giant.
Yes. Let me, real quick. I think I already linked this picture, but I will link it again.
The whole
Also, I
group.
only just looked at the message you said, Steve.
Which message? The jerking off?
Yes. I saw that and I was like, oh no.
I needed someone made of muscles.
I needed someone solid.
There we go.
A thick boy. So I imagine Sandra is like going into town and sees the artist just doing his thing, but then sees that as one of the pictures is just of Dante and being like, "Can I buy that off you?
It's like one of those
Can I buy it?"
one of those starving artists that sells their art on the street. And that's one of the pieces he has available.
And he's like debating on whether he's willing to part with it or not. It's just like, I don't know.
I will give you 200 for that.
Oh,
A mere 200.
200 gold.
200,000 platinum pieces.
Stuffs it in her bag. Tells no one.
Guy is just like, ha, I have a photographic memory. I can just make another one.
Oh no.
I am looking through the photos of Heroes of Falcon's Hollow. I have so many Elium photos.
There's so many Regina in there too.
I'm trying to see what we could do at Shurthor. I mean, there's the Market Street, there's the abandoned cabin, there's the Big Supply Shop, which I meant to get to today, but I didn't. That's fine. It's not urgent.
So I already had a character who was based on Elium in this campaign. It was the Ifriti asshole on the original airship, who, yeah, the one who got the backpack full of confetti instead of a parachute.
To fucking get clowned on, even then.
Oh yeah, I'm just like, I'm gonna make a not cool version of Elium and have them be there. And if the party wanted to convince them to, like, if the party wanted to interact or, like, convince them to come along or whatever, if they were going to stay a character in the campaign, they would have still kept Elium's trait of being a legendary swordsman, because Elium, his colloquial name is the Whirlwind Firestorm. He's a legendary sword fighter.
What
Crits
an
on a fucking
interesting name
15.
coincidence.
Doesn't he
The
crit
world.
on a 14? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he crits 15 plus and does like stupid amounts of damage. He is a dodge tank who can damage output to keep up with Regina.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just like what a coincidence of the fucking whirlwind in the name. Amazing.
The Whirlwind Firestorm is... God, all I remember is that during the entire campaign, I was just spamming acrobatics to run and jump everywhere, because in Pathfinder, if you move and attack, you only get the one attack per turn unless you full round action to make multiple attacks. So I'm just like, fuck it. With my movement, I'm gonna do something more interesting and see what I can do to, like, you know, put myself in weird spots. So I was constantly, like, running off walls and jumping over people, and once again, in Pathfinder, if someone's flanking, you actually get a bonus. And I also got an ability where if I use acrobatics to go through one of the threatened squares of an enemy, then I got additional bonuses against them. So legitimately, I just built this character on the stupid want to backflip everywhere, and it legitimately got to the point where I had a flaming scimitar and would run, jump, and just fucking Beyblade in the air and start chopping people's heads off. Yeah, that was Whirlwind Firestorm, and his asshole alternate reality version of him. I think I have his name somewhere in this document. Hang on, I want to see. Nope, that's Steadfast. Jezik. Jezik the Ifriti. Just some red asshole hogging the bar.
That bit.
Anyway, I'm glad everyone enjoyed session, and looking forward to the next one, and hopefully Coco can assist me with a little bit of map making for the dungeon itself, regardless if you're gonna play in it or not, because
I'm looking forward to it, actually.
The next 2 days off, I can give you 10 maps.
oh hell yeah, just make the entire dungeon for me.
Bet.
I will be messaging you details.
It's been a while since there was a dungeon that I didn't make. I'm looking forward to not having the insider knowledge.
I'm
'Cause
gonna
oh,
kill
man.
all. I mean, that's
The
I'm
problem
we're
with,
gonna have a good time.
what was the last dungeon? The tower?
Yeah.
The research tower.
The Starus Tower.
The Starus
Oh,
Tower.
yeah.
Yeah, the problem with, for me, at least, with the Starus Tower is I already knew the layout, so I had to give pretty much no help on where
By
things
the fourth
were.
floor, everyone knew the layout.
Eh,
It was pretty standard.
that's because I had to copy-paste a few floors in the basic layout.
Yeah.
I still love that observatory.
That was pretty
There,
cool.
you missed something really. Like, no one looked through any of the telescopes in the observatory.
Oh no.
Yeah, because there's probably evil.
Like,
Steal your eyeball.
shush. Don't you spoil the secrets.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, like, if I recall, I went through what each of the telescopes did,
You did.
and if you would have looked through each of them, you would have gotten to see something, and for some reason no one did, but I am glad that, you picked up and read the letter, because that letter was really... I enjoyed writing that letter. It was very much the dying wishes of someone who realized they really fucked up.
Big stupid.
Yep, they're
Very
like,
big
man,
stupid.
hindsight is like more than 2020, despite the fact that it can't get better.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Anyway, it's 1:30. I need to go to sleep.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But this is a good episode of Conversation Castle. Let's all sleep.
It is sleep.
You all sleep.
Yeah, say I gotta stay
Enjoy
up.
that
I got shit to
sleeping.
do to get prepared.
I'm
for
gonna go take
traveling
a shower.
tomorrow.
Rip Lamau.
Bye, have a
alright,
wonderful time.
Yeah, have a good night, everyone.
Have a good one.
And then there was just me. Me, myself, and the music. You can't really make conversation with yourself, so that's where this episode of Conversation Castle will end, folks. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys on the next one.